just crack open the yellow pages, but in recent years that's changed, Mayor.
More of us are turning to our tech devices, searching for websites. An easy-to-use site can make the difference for a business between losing and gaining a customer.
Yeah, I can. Back to compute this. Thor Schrock from Schrock Innovations.
Thanks for having me, guys.
See you, Thor. Real quick, let's talk about I want to talk about your web design services, because this can really make a big impact for businesses. And you've seen it. Businesses that are successful, many times have great websites.
Well, I guess, the way you have to look at, if you're in business, you understand this. If you're jumping on a bandwagon that's already hot, we were buying some earrings for my niece, and I never want to set foot in a Claire's store again. It was bad.
No kidding.
But I guess One Direction is the big boy band for girls now, right? So everything in there is One Direction. And on the radio, they were playing the 90s on 9, and they're playing New Kids on the Block. And it made you think, if you're jumping on the bandwagon of what's hot today, right now, you're behind the curve. You need to jump on the bandwagon of what is coming tomorrow, and then your business can dominate. And what we're seeing increasingly, people are not using the Yellow Pages anymore. And Schrock Innovations, we used to spend $3,000 a month on Yellow Page ads. 2 years ago, we dropped our Yellow Page ads entirely just to see what would happen for a year, which is a pretty big gamble when you think about it. You're talking $36,000 a year of marketing that you're just going to stop doing just to see what happens. I mean, duh, most people would say, well, if you stop $36,000 in marketing, your business is going to fall.
Yeah.
We dropped our Yellow Page ads, took a portion of that money, about $5,000 of it, and put it behind our website and marketing our website and our services online. And we saw a 100% increase in revenue.
No kidding, that's a lot.
In
So
a year.
is that exclusive to a business like yours, or could other industries, could you own a boutique and see something similar?
This is where it gets interesting, because yes, it is dependent on your business to an extent, primarily because of the age of people who are using technology.
Got it.
If you're in the 60 to 70 range, that's right about the cutoff for where people over the age of 70 still use the phone book. They've used the phone book their whole lives. They're not really comfortable with the technology in many cases. They know how to use it, but it's not their go-to. They don't think, boy, I wonder what's a good steakhouse in Omaha. They don't grab their phone and say best steakhouses in Omaha.
Right.
They take the Yellow Pages, open it up to steakhouses, and look and see what's there and try to pick one to go to. Well, people under that age group do that, and as the population ages and continues to age, what's going to happen is it's going to eventually permeate the whole demographic. So if you own like a funeral home, for example, probably don't need to spend a lot of time worrying about your website's rankings and things like that.
Yeah.
If you own a boutique or something like that, oh, absolutely. Especially if you cater to a specific niche. And I'll give you an example of, they've been guests on the show here before, but Fat Brain Toys started off as a website. And they were so far ahead of the curve when they did that, because the Toys R Us sites and everything weren't out yet, that it eventually led to them to open retail locations to help service the demand from their website. So if you do it right and you get your website to do well, your business can really take off.
The example you just used, they know toys, right?
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that you're qualified to build a website that works. So what services do you offer then to help those business owners?
Well, Schrock can really do everything from A to Z. We have a separate division, actually, because this is different than computer repair. It's different than data recovery. This is almost business consulting, because we have to look at a company, figure out what your competitive advantage is, which is kind of funny. A lot of businesses don't know what their competitive advantage is. They just instinctively know. And then we take that competitive advantage and we make it the feature of the website. So, if you're looking for a snow removal company, you can use your competitive advantage there to get more customers. Then you have to get ranked. Basically, if you're not on the first page of Google, if you're not in the top 5 results in Google, most of the time people aren't going to see you even.
So do you pay to get higher up on the list?
Well,
is it about traffic? How do
That's
they
a whole
decide?
nother ball. That's SEO. That's a whole nother topic.
That's SEO.
That's SEO.
We could spend an entire hour on that and not even scratch the surface. But the bottom line is, Google's a democratic engine. The more people who come to your site and the more time they spend there, the higher your site ranks.
Got it.
So we have to give people a good reason to come to your website, and then we have to make sure that as many places on the internet know your website exists as possible without crossing the black hat line. Black hat is where you've stopped trying to make a website better for people, for human eyes, and you've started trying to make it look better for a search engine. That's where Google draws the line. If you're optimizing just for Google, they will take you out of the index. It's called Google death. They will take you out.
Wow.
So website advertising, I haven't picked up a phone book, and I don't know, 1999 maybe, but because I use my phone.
You remember.
So how do, and those Yellow Pages can be expensive. How does cost compare when you're talking about website advertising?
I mentioned earlier with our example, we took $36,000 of annual marketing and ended up spending about $5,000 on web stuff and saw a 100% increase in business. Now, obviously, we know exactly what we're doing, things like that. But to give you an idea, if you're spending $1,000 a month on a Yellow Page ad, you can replace the effect that you're getting from that ad with about $150 a month on services from Schrock that will get you a similar result online.
All right, so comparable indeed. SchrockInnovations.com, that's the website. Where do our viewers, I guess, what's the first step if they're interested in this website marketing?
Well, the first step, you can call any of the 3 service centers, and the person you want to talk to is Sharon. If you tell them I need help with my website, they're going to send you to Sharon. But the person you want to talk to is Sharon, and we've just put together some new SEO packages, things like that, a $150 package I talked about. Basically, with search engine optimization, it's about speed. $150 a month will get you there eventually. A little bit more per month will get you there faster, and then if you really want to get there quick, you can drop the wad and get there real quick.
Okay, well, that's one way to put
Thank
it.
you, Thor.
SchrockInnovations.com. But it has to be optimized for tablets and smartphones too, so not just any website.
Yeah, right now the mobile browsing market is exceeding the desktop market. By next year, there will be more people searching the internet on tablets and smartphones than desktop computers. So if you don't have a mobile version of your website, you're behind the curve.
We'll leave it there,
Thanks,
Thor.
Thor.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you.
Thank
Great
you.
to see
All right, he's
you.
one of the most successful, most well-known comedians in the country, and we can't wait to meet him.
I
right
see
here.
him pacing in the distance. The Lewis Black is performing at the Funny Bone tonight. He'll join us.